Alright guys, so I am going to go ahead and rebuild the carburetor on this. It's a Bing carburetor. Some nice stuff here. Let me see here. The throttle, everything's nice and free on it. I just haven't, I'm going to be doing the fuel lines, and I just want to, make sure the carb's spotless before I go anywhere. So I'm going to completely take it off, disassemble it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out these, loosen these two clamps, one on each side, one up here and one here. I'm going to loosen this one up. I got a whole new filter screen for this, so I'm going to put that on later. That's at the house, so that'll be tomorrow or whatever. I just went ahead and put the clamp back on this one because I've got that other screen at home, and I'm going to be taking this whole thing over to the house and hooking it up to my quad. Alright, I didn't take and loosen this one yet. I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead, actually I'm going to remove the fuel line, so I'm going to take this one. These are like vent lines, and then the fuel line, I'm going to take them off. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the two bolts that hold the slider in for the throttle. I'm going to take them out. Now this is just a general information video. A lot of you guys are going to have problems with your carburetors. If you have the type of carburetor that's got a bowl on the bottom of it, this video will help you clean your carburetor. They all have basically the same function. Unless it's a diaphragm carburetor, it doesn't have a bowl, that's a completely different animal. But with these types, this is going to help you out. You'll be able to take your carb off, clean it out, put it back on with no major issue. And it'll run perfect if you do exactly the way I tell you. I got little tricks that I'm going to show you as well that's going to make this a lot easier to clean. Alright, so now you've got that unbolted, it just slides out. Now pay attention to the slots. So there's a slot on this side right here, and I believe there's going to be an idle slot on the bottom of this as well. So yeah, see there's an idle slot right there. That's for the idle screw that keeps it, raises it up and lowers it down. So you know that idle slot right there, the shorter one, goes to the idle screw. This slot right here, there's going to be a pin usually inside that it rides onto that pin. So that's just stuff you're going to be looking for. Alright, so we'll get that off to the side there. Alright, so that's off to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen the clamp on the back. We can get that loose. You want it good and flopping around loose. You want it to be really loose. And then this will pull right on out of this. Something fell. I'm gonna have to look and see what fell out of there. That pulls right on out of that. No problem at all. Easy peasy. Now I may be wrong, and I don't see what fell. Whatever it was minor debris, I believe. But this looks like it's supposed to have an O-ring right here, and it didn't have it. I don't see what would make it seal. I also don't see what would hold it in place even when it's clamped down. I'm looking inside here though, and it looks like there's some kind of Allen that goes there. So I'm wondering, is that what fell out? Was there an Allen wrench that tightened down into this notch right here, and that's what fell out? I don't know. I'm gonna pop that metal ring out and find out though. Well, that is exactly what it was. This is cracked. And there's supposed to be an Allen that holds it in place. Craziness. And it had to have been cracked. And somebody's been in this. Somebody's been fucking with this. So, yay me. Alright, guess we're going to be figuring out this sucker here, huh? I'm going to have to get this repaired. And then get it. I got to find that Allen that goes in it too. It's on the ground somewhere. So I'll have to get this repaired. We're gonna get right back into this though, into the good stuff. All right, so this one's got like a clip based deal, like on an old brake master cylinder, or yeah, brake master cylinder off of like old Chevy. Pops off, just lever slides down. Some of them are going to be bolted down. If it's bolted down ones, they're going to be hard to get broken loose. I use vice grips and then break them free. Click, break them free. Sometimes that doesn't work, and I have to use a hammer and a chisel, and I'll just get an angle on it to where it just breaks it free. It's all. You just beat it in, straight in, and then you hit it at an angle to loosen it. And you get all of them out and pop apart. I'm going to go ahead and pop this open right now. Well, I took the piece in. I took it in the machine shop. They're making me a new one. Alright, got this little lever down. Now you got to get the bowl off. Sometimes they get stuck because they're full of tar. What you do is gently hit it with the back of a hammer or the back of a screwdriver. You want to get it knocked off without breaking anything. Over and hit it some more on this side, and it just split. And we want to be very careful because there is an O-ring inside of here, and we don't want to break it. We just want to slowly get this out. See, it's sticking to it right there. So I'm going to slowly push on it with like a pick or a screwdriver and pull this off at the same time, and try not to break that because we don't want to have to order a new bowl gasket for this. The gasket came out with the bowl. This is a different setup I haven't really seen before. The floats are in here and they ride up and down on this slide, and you see they're stuck in there. There it goes, comes free. But it's stuck in there because of the tar. So we're going to go ahead and remove those two floats. With a little carb cleaner, we're going to clean out the bowl. We're going to clean out the bowl. We're going to clean off them as well. Alright, so I put some carb cleaner in there, and then I'm going to dump it all out. I use my finger and I use a screwdriver, and I just scrape until everything's clean. So the bowl is nice and spotless clean like that, and the floats are nice and clean too. There was just a bunch of tar on the side of it where it had been sitting in there. Then you can go ahead, slide those floats right back in where they belong. No problem at all. Alright, now see the floats ride up and down on this here. So this controls the needle valve. So they push it down when it fills up with gas, or it actually pushes it off. And then that shuts the fuel off. And then when it gets low, they come this way and opens the needle valve open and lets more fuel in. What we're going to need to do though is pull off this screen. We're going to rinse that out. We need to pull this pin right here. You need to pull it, get the needle valve out. That's dirty. We don't want fuel leaking, it'll run rich. Now it's important to clean your carburetor on a regular basis. If you find that it's starting to get hard to start, clean your carburetor. If you clean your carburetor, you'll find that your engine will last longer because it won't be running lean all the time. If it's running lean, it burns up and it's not getting enough oil. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and pull this pin out and do this area now. One side is out a little bit. This side right here is out a little bit. And this side over here is not. So I'm going to set it on its side. I'm going to stick a little pick in it. And then I'm going to hit the back of the pick with my pliers. I'm just going to tap it to get it to poke out a little bit. I'm trying to come out that way, so I'm going to take my pliers. And then it's going to tap this the other way. So trying to fall off. That moved. Oh yeah, it did. It moved. Alright, so we're going to go the other way. So then you take the pick, you set it on top of it and hit the back of the pick to make it go through. We got this pin to smooth slightly. Now you've got room on the other side to grab it. So now we're going to go ahead with, I use one-sided cutting pliers because they give me a good grip. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull it out. It's out. Alright. Then we're going to lift this up. got the needle valve in it. If the needle valve's not coming, if it's not coming out very easy, just keep steady pressure on it. Yeah, there it goes. It'll slowly give way. Now we got to clean all this. So I guess we'll start with this part. We're going to clean it out real good with some carburetor cleaner. Make sure you got a straw on it. Any carb cleaner will do. Just get out of your auto parts store. I'll put it in the description below for you, so you can. But it's super cheap on Amazon. I use gum out on Amazon, from Amazon a lot, and it's super cheap. Go ahead and take the needle valve off. See, it's just a metal clip on this one. Get it off. You got to get it clean. We're going to clean off this and the needle valve real good with carb cleaner again. So put the needle valve, the clip back on to the float. The needle valve on in place. Obviously, once you got it all clean, tighten. I need 2 hands. Then you just go ahead and put the pin back in to hold the needle valve and float back in. Now what I like to do is this right here is your fuel inlet. I like to blow in that. With this all the way down like this, it shouldn't let any air through at all. And then when you pull this up, it should let air through. That way you know that it's leaking or not. I'm going to go ahead and take this jet out here. This is your idle jet. We're going to take this one out and clean it now. Alright, so we got the little jet out. So I use acid to clean it. This is 14 karat gold testing acid. I will put, let's see, number GT44. I will put this in the description below. This is what I use to clean my jets. It works perfect. I've used all the other ones. They don't work. The 24 karat gold testing acid is not better than the 14. The 10 is not better. The 14 is the best one. You got to be careful too, because if you use the wrong stuff, it'll eat your freaking jet up. Or if you use it in the aluminum, it can eat holes in the aluminum. So you got to be really careful with what you're using. This stuff is tested and proved. Let it simmer for a while. You want to wear eyeglasses, you want to wear gloves, whatever. If your skin isn't hard as a rock like mine, you're going to have to wear stuff to keep the chemicals off you. Then carb cleaner, you're going to slowly rinse it off so that you don't get any splashback. And then you're going to pick up this jet. You can stick this straw in this end and blow it out the other end, and then the other end blow it through until it's nice and clear. If you have to do the acid more than once, go ahead. So it needed to be cleared out more. It was still clogged. So I put the acid in this side. This will burn your skin, so please don't do that. It's nice and clean now. We got this one to do now. Now this is a very big, this is the full throttle jet. So it's a very big hole. So I just go ahead and squirt carb cleaner through it. And if it goes through, then it's fine. So it's hard to clog this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast through it with carb cleaner. If it is completely clogged, then take a jet out, use the acid, boil it, make sure everything's very clean. But this seems to be okay. These vents, these little guys here, and see they're clogged solid. So I'm going to spray it through with carb cleaner first, and then I'm going to use some acid on it to try to clean it out. This one comes out the bottom here, so don't put severe pressure through it without having it aimed away from you. Kind of an overflow slash vent, you know. But that one's clear, and we're gonna hit this one. sure it clears. Okay, and that should do it for that stuff. Alright, choke arm is moving, so I'm going to go ahead and open the choke all the way up, all the way down, and then there's a hole right inside there. I'm going to spray carb cleaner through that, and it should come out through here. When the choke is closed, you know, where you get it, the choke is off, it should not spray through here. It should stop it. Okay, perfect. And then you're going to have, on the intake side, you're going to have this, any of these are open. See, this one's blocked off, so that one's not. This one's open. We're going to put like 1 or 2 drops of acid down in that. As that goes through the idle circuit, we'll let it do its thing for a minute, and then we're going to go ahead and rinse that out gently. Alright. Down in the tube, the 3 holes you see down in the bottom, spray through those. We're going to rinse this screen off. Yeah, let's go ahead and rinse this screen off. So put it back on. And we're going to go ahead and put this back in, tighten it down. You can't tilt this up onto this or the floats will just fall out. So we're going to bring this up onto this and then click it in place. So get it nice and snug down into place, and then you should be able to bring this back with some effort. I use a flathead screwdriver to help pry it up, and I just, let me see if I can get a grip with my legs here. Just work your way up until it clicks into place, just like that. Make sure it's in tight everywhere. Bing, bang, boom. That's how you do your carburetor. Alright, that's all nice and clicked in solid. You want to make sure it's in good. Alright, and then like I said, I'm going to go ahead and freaking do this. So you're going to line up the big idle slot with the idle screw that is on your carburetor. It's there, that's your idle screw. This is your fuel air mixture screw. Alright. You can lean it out or richen it with this screw. It all lined up, it'll slide right down in all the way where it's closed. Down in there, I had to reach in and line it up with the center. But see, like that, that's where you got it perfect. If it's open like that much, that means you don't have it lined up right and something's wrong. You got to get it lined up right where it closes. Then you just go ahead and tighten these 2 screws back, tighten it back down onto it. You know the rest. The ring that is inside of this one, you would have to put on here first and tighten the Allen down, get it snugged up. You don't want to over tighten it. It's probably what happened. The guy over tightened it and cracked that ring. It should never have been like that. And then you push the whole thing in place and then tighten it back down, the clamp back down. But I'm waiting for the machine shop to get the rest of mine. So that's as far as I can go in this video to help you. But all the carburetors are kind of like this. They have a bowl on the bottom. You can have a main jet, idle jet. On this size engine, you should always have like a main and an idle jet, you know, no problem. If it's just a main jet, it's just a main jet. But more than likely, there's a couple of them. Sometimes you got to use wire. I've used wire out of a wire wheel. You pull one strand out and you poke the jets through because they're just that clogged. But if you're using it regularly and it's just starting to act up, it shouldn't be an issue at all. A little bit of acid, a little bit of carb cleaner, and you're ready to go. I'll put all that stuff in the description below for you. I'll be having a lot more videos going on this thing. I'm really getting ready to start flying this thing. So, all right. You guys, this helped you in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Everything that I used that I told you, I'll put in the description below. Today's t-shirt by Prestige Worldwide, the combiner of boats and hose. It'll be in the description below as well. If you want me to wear some of your business shirts, mail me some. I wouldn't mind to have a sponsor. Peace.